Mississippi Freedom Ride 50th anniversary here at the Marriott Marquis. Mr. Gathier is here to tell me about what happened during the Freedom Ride, his role in the Freedom Rides, as well as other things. Mr. Gathier, it's a pleasure
to
be with you here today. Would you tell me about what happened during the Freedom Rides and what impact did it have on you as a Freedom Rider?
Okay, my role in the Freedom Rides was not riding the bus and bettering the rest in Jackson. I was one of the two persons who came up with the idea for the Freedom Ride in the first place. And fresh out of serving a 30-day sentence on a road gang in South Carolina, I was asked to be the person who would be the scout for the Freedom Rides. The scout would go down the route the rides would take and make necessary arrangements for the riders. We would send back information on the layout of bus terminals, make arrangements for contacts with local people, make arrangements for meetings with local people, things of that sort. So after the ride started, I was assigned to work here in Jackson. And my responsibilities in Jackson were essentially to be something of a liaison between the local black community and the Jackson Police Department. Because as the riders came in and they were arrested, we had to keep records on how long they were in jail. Typically, riders spent no longer than 39 days in jail. We had 39 days as a cutoff point because if they stayed beyond that time, they would lose the right to appeal. And we wanted people to participate, but we didn't want them to have a sort of permanent albatross on their record that would prohibit them from federal employment and activities of that sort. I had close working relationships with the people here in the Jackson community. In fact, Jackson's response to the arrival of the Freedom Riders was engineered by a number of local women who formed an organization that was called Woman Power Unlimited. And Woman Power Unlimited provided for the courtesies required of the riders when they were released from Parchman, and we would then dispatch them back to their hometowns. So we'd have to find overnight lodging for them. We would have to have food for them. We would have to have a means of getting them to the bus station, train station, at the airport. So that's what Woman Power Unlimited was involved in doing.
Did you have a chance to go to Parchman or just to...
My responsibility relative to Parchman was to keep records on how long people had been in jail, make sure that the legal representation for the people was in place, because when people were tried, we had local lawyers, with 3 local lawyers, Jack Young, Carsey Hall, R.J. Brown. And beyond the local lawyers, I sometimes had to coordinate with lawyers who were volunteers from New York who would come in to help, and so forth and so on.
Well, Mr. Gathier, after all these years, this is the 50th anniversary of the Freedom Riders. How do you feel as far as coming back and reuniting with all of the Freedom Riders that's here?
It's a feeling that is difficult to describe. And it's rather unlike many reunions. What makes this reunion unique is that you are sharing a moment with people who have had the same trials and tribulations that you have had. So I think there's a sense of closeness, there's a sense of common purpose that you may not get even in a family reunion, especially if you have family members who've been somewhat alienated or marginalized by a dominant part of the family.
Well, as far as, will you be here the whole week?
I will be here the entire week.
Okay, okay. Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor to meet you, Mr. Gathier. And I look forward to seeing you again and interviewing you again throughout the week.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.